Welcome back to the channel. There comes a moment in life when you simply can't give anymore. You can't explain yourself again, can't sacrifice again, can't fight harder for people who still refuse to see your worth. Maybe you felt it, that quiet realization that no matter how patient you were, how loyal you stayed, or how much heart you poured into someone, they only understood your value after you stepped away. It's painful, but that moment becomes a turning point. Because when you finally remove yourself, when you stop offering your presence as comfort, when you stop fixing what others repeatedly break, something shifts. That's when the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Walking away is not weakness. Walking away is mastery. It is choosing inner peace over constant chaos. It is not abandonment. It is returning to yourself after giving too much to those who never protected what you offered. People often assume you will never leave because you stayed through every storm. They assume you will keep giving because that's what you've always done. They mistake your loyalty for something unbreakable. But the moment you step back, the moment you detach and reclaim your self-worth, their reality changes. Your absence becomes the lesson they refused to learn while you were still there trying to teach it gently. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." When you walk away, you stop feeding what drains you. You redirect your energy toward your own growth. This isn't about revenge. It's not about proving a point. It's about finally realizing that you deserve the same respect, effort, and care you freely give to others. Before we continue, drop this affirmation in the comments. Walking away was my breakthrough, not my loss. 1. Walking away exposes the truth they avoided. When you leave, the people who took you for granted begin to feel the weight of everything you once carried. They notice the silence where your support used to be. They feel the emptiness where your presence once brought calm. Many people only recognize value once it's gone. They didn't appreciate your patience until arguments echoed without your steady voice. They didn't respect your loyalty until the warmth you brought disappeared. They didn't realize how much stability you provided until they had to stand alone. Your kindness was never replaceable. Your energy mattered. Your consistency had power. Walking away forces people to face what they refuse to acknowledge. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free." Walking away is bravery, choosing self-respect. It is strength, refusing to stay where it is no longer valued. 2. Distance reveals their dependence. When you create distance, it becomes a mirror. People often act independent when you're present, but that illusion fades when you're gone. They realize how much they relied on your emotional strength, your patience, and your ability to hold things together. Once you step back, they are forced to carry the weight alone. And that's when the truth hits. It was never just your words. It was your presence. That kind of energy cannot be replaced. Your distance shows that your support was a privilege, not a guarantee. Drop this affirmation below. My distance protects my peace. 3. Silence ends. Their control manipulation survives on reaction. When you stop responding, stop explaining, and stop engaging, their power disappears. Silence cuts the supply. Epictetus said, "No person is free who is not master of themselves." Your silence proves you are in control now. You are no longer reacting, you are choosing peace. And that calm confidence unsettles those who once relied on your emotions to feel powerful. Silence is not weakness, it is discipline. 4. Absence reveals the value of your presence. When you walked away, you didn't just remove yourself, you removed your loyalty, time, compassion, and consistency. And only then did they realize what you truly brought into their life. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the value of something is often revealed only after it's gone. Your absence becomes a reminder of everything they ignored. You didn't leave to punish them. You left to protect yourself. And that truth hits hardest. 5. Silence shows who truly cares. When you stop chasing, fixing, and explaining, people reveal their true intentions. Those who value you will respect your boundaries. Those who don't will fade away. Silence creates clarity. It separates genuine connection from convenience. It teaches you who deserves access to your energy. 6. Walking away makes your worth undeniable. Once you're gone, everything you did without recognition becomes clear. Every act of loyalty, every moment of patience, every time you showed up, it all replays in their mind. They didn't lose just a person. They lost peace. They lost loyalty. They lost someone real. And that realization arrives too late. Drop this affirmation. I walk away from anything that does not honor me. 7. Silence builds unshakable confidence. True confidence doesn't come from being valued by others. It comes from knowing your worth without needing validation. Silence trains you to stand firm, calm, and grounded. Marcus Aurelius said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Restraint is power. Self-respect is strength. You are no longer shaken by rejection. You are anchored in self-awareness. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is strategy. Silence is strength. Remember this. You don't need to explain your worth to anyone who refuses to see it. Protect your peace. Honor your boundaries. Choose yourself. Drop the final affirmation in the comments. I am unshakable. My silence is my strength. My energy is sacred. 8. Walking away rewires. How you see yourself. When you choose distance over desperation, something inside you changes permanently. You stop seeing yourself as someone who needs to be chosen. You stop measuring your worth by how hard you tried, how much you gave, or how long you endured. Walking away breaks the illusion that love must be earned through suffering. For the first time, you realize this truth. You were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong people. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you stop begging for recognition, your thoughts shift. You begin to think from self-respect, not fear. From strength, not attachment. From clarity, not hope built on illusion. Walking away teaches you that peace feels better than potential, that silence feels safer than chaos, that self-respect feels stronger than temporary connection. 9. Their regret is quiet. But heavy people rarely admit regret out loud. Instead, it shows up in subtle ways, in late-night thoughts, in unanswered questions, in comparisons they never wanted to make, in moments when they realize no one else gives what you gave. They may never say it, but they feel it. They feel it when conversations feel empty. They feel it when support is missing. They feel it when loyalty is absent. Seneca said, "What is lost is valued, and once you're gone, your absence speaks louder than your presence ever could." Not because you were perfect, but because you were real. 10. You stop explaining and start living. At this stage, something powerful happens. You no longer feel the need to defend your decision. You no longer explain why you left. You no longer prove your pain. You let your life speak for you. And that is freedom. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Walking away is embodiment. Silence is embodiment. Peace is embodiment. You are no longer reacting. You are responding with discipline. You are no longer surviving. You are building a life that doesn't require self-betrayal. 11. The power shift is permanent. Once you walk away with self-respect, you can never be controlled the same way again, even if they return, even if they apologize, even if they promise change. Because now, you see clearly. You understand that access to you is earned through consistency, not words. That presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. that your energy is valuable and limited. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one. And being one means knowing when to leave. Final reflection. Walking away was never about punishment. Silence was never about pride. Distance was never about ego. It was about alignment. It was about dignity. It was about choosing a life where your peace is not negotiable. You didn't lose anyone. You released what was draining you. And in that release, you found yourself. So remember this. People may forget your words. They may forget your explanations. But they will never forget how your absence made them feel. And you? You will never forget how choosing yourself saved you. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I choose peace over attachment. I choose self-respect over approval. I choose myself. 12. You become untouchable without trying. At this stage, you don't need to prove strength. You don't need to announce boundaries. Your calm does it for you. People sense it, the shift. Not arrogance, not coldness, clarity. You no longer react emotionally. You observe. You choose when to engage and when to step back. And that choice alone makes you untouchable. Not because you built walls, but because you built standards. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You didn't harden your heart. You refined it. You didn't become distant out of bitterness. You became selective out of wisdom. 13. Peace replaces the need to be understood. One of the quiet freedoms of walking away is this: you stop needing others to understand your side. You realize that people who truly cared would never require endless explanations. Silence becomes comfort, not punishment. Distance becomes protection, not loss. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Let them misunderstand. Let them assume." Your peace is not up for debate. When you stop explaining, you start breathing again. 14. You stop romanticizing potential. You no longer fall in love with who someone could be. You see who they are, and that clarity saves you years of pain. You stop waiting for change. You stop hoping effort will be returned. You stop investing in empty promises. Seneca warned, expectation is the greatest impediment to living. Walking away frees you from imaginary futures and anchors you in reality. 15. Your energy becomes sacred. You begin to treat your time, focus, and emotional space like something valuable. Because it is. Not everyone deserves access anymore. And that's not cruelty. That's maturity. You understand this truth now. Being kind does not mean being available to everyone. Being loving does not mean tolerating disrespect. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Your past pain becomes your discipline. Your silence becomes your strength. 16. They feel the shift, even from a distance. Even without contact, they feel it. Not because you're trying to show anything, but because your energy is no longer reaching for them. They sense you're no longer waiting. They sense you've moved on internally. They sense the door is closed, not out of anger, but finality. And that's what makes it powerful. Not your words, not your silence, but your detachment. Closing reflection. Walking away wasn't an escape. It was an awakening. You didn't become cold. You became clear. You didn't lose connection. You gained self-respect. And once you reach this level, you never return to the old version of yourself, the one who stayed too long, explained too much, and tolerated too little. Remember this: the strongest people don't shout. They don't chase. They don't beg. They choose peace and walk away. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I am calm. I am clear. I am in control.